Alright, in this video, I'll be answering some of these sub-brand related questions to the best of my abilities, explaining a lot of things about that. So, NIO did patent the name ONVO, so the ONVO name is probably going to be the name of the sub-brand. And also, that's what the logo looks like. Guys, overall, the sub-brand is going to be very successful because the CEO said it's going to be like 露的肩膀打, which means like they're gonna like take the shirt off and go fist first. All right, so they're gonna be like very competitive in terms of specs and features. Definitely not the best chips compared to NIO. NIO has NT2.4 ONX chips. They might only have one and single motor, and definitely not as luxurious as a NIO or as comfortable as a NIO, but it's gonna have a lot of cool features inside the car and decent performance, good range, cheap price, battery swap. So it's going to be a winning formula, all right, minus the luxuriousness. So I have full confidence that the NIO sub-brand will succeed. So a subscriber in our Discord asked a fantastic few questions about the sub-brand, and we'll have this answered in this video. So to answer the first question, will NIO brand sales fall off a cliff because of NT 3.0, bigger screens and better chips on the sub-brand? Look, it is categorically a very different car. And yes, there will always be some customers waiting for the next best thing. But no, I do not think deliveries will fall off a cliff. In the first half, we might see deliveries stagnate a little bit, and this might coincide with that, yes. And the sub-brand in the latter half of the year in 2024 will really help deliveries. But if you watch carefully NIO Day and the product launch, they did not talk a lot about the infotainment system. They're leaving that for later on. And it is pretty clear, it's obvious that all of this tech will eventually be passed on to other NIO vehicles. They ordered 750,000 clear motion hydraulic suspension units. So that tells you that it's coming for a lot more than just the ET9. All that stuff is going to be gradually rolled onto newer NIOs. So it could even be possible that you say that ET9 causes people to wait on their orders. Like me, I'm looking to potentially buy NT 3.0 EC7. That's the car I want. I'm not interested in 2.0 vehicles because of the screen, etc. So I am going to wait for sure. But not everybody can wait for their vehicle purchase. So it might have some impact, but overall, the sub-brand is going to be a very different brand in itself. Lower tier, all right? It doesn't carry the premiumness in the name and the branding. Also, the sub-brand is probably going to be launched in the next 3 months, potentially, all right? Number 2, delaying ONVO launch, even though they already have VB model ready. Well, the reason they're delaying the ONVO sub-brand launch is because they're waiting for competitors to reveal the price. And they're waiting for the competitors to essentially, backstab each other. And this is exactly what the CEO said. 让他们卷一卷. Let the competitors first backstab each other in terms of specs and pricing, and when the dust settles, then NIO knows where everybody's at in terms of pricing, and then they know how to price their cars. That's why you're seeing right now, there's so many auto brands, they do a launch event, but they don't launch the price. They don't tell people the price of the car. And then they do a separate launch event, like Xiaomi's car. They tell you basically everything but the price. Basically to get people excited to know the tech, but not the price. And everybody's doing that. It's because the market is so competitive. So NIO's delaying it because they want to see where everybody's at and then be able to price their product strategically, all right? Not too cheap so that they lose out on margin, but not too expensive that they lose out on market share. It has to be the perfect pricing, but to do that, they got to see what the competitors are priced at. They have to have confidence that my pricing is very sturdy and that it's going to really take market share from the other guys. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing, all right? Number 3, this is quite an interesting question because, yes, when the transition between NT1 and NT2 happened, a lot of people did get quite pissed. But that's why it's going to happen gradually over time. And I guess it's a very common problem with people have been complaining that Only NIO has this kind of naming scheme, NT2, NT3, and that's why on NIO Day they did not call ET9 an NT 3.0 platform. All right, because if they say that, then people will know, oh, NT3 is here. Why am I still buying an NT 2.0 car? So they explicitly did not say that that car is an NT 3.0 car. They're probably going to remove that naming scheme altogether, even though us, new shareholders and new owners, existing new owners, know the difference. It is pretty stupid because if you think, oh, this is the first generation car, this is a second generation car, this is a third generation car, nobody really does that. Have you seen Tesla really do that? I mean, they tell you this is the first generation Model S, second generation Model S. No, they have years for the Model S, like 2022 Model S, 2023 Model S, but they never tell you explicitly what generation of car this is. So it's very smart that they're removing that naming thing altogether, all right? Number 4, messaging problem and marketing. This is very interesting because the other day I asked the NIO owner of 23 NIOs his honest, hand-to-God opinion about NIO's marketing. And then he said, yeah, NIO's marketing is trash. Yeah, he said it straight out. He said NIO is a company that just puts their head down and does work, all right? And they just don't tell people what they're doing. They just do work and just 专心办事, which is the term he used. Just focusing on getting the things right, and which is not bad, but not exactly good for sales. All right, you do need some marketing. It'll be very interesting to see how NIO does that marketing, but obviously they're going to have a big launch event. People are going to know about this, but in stores they'll probably run some ads, let people know about it, make sure that people understand that this is a NIO sub brand. But I am generally quite worried about messaging problem. That is also something that I'm concerned about. How are they going to get the message out there? They're probably going to rely on referrals as well. So NIO owners, exactly NIO owners, you know, being the marketing for NIO. And NIO told me that 70% of their sales comes from referrals. So, you know, it's going to be pretty much NIO owners spreading out the message, sharing it on different social media platforms, and getting people to buy the car. And I think it's going to work out, but we'll have to see how receptive people are towards that message. All right. Number 5, will they be in NIO showrooms? They will not be in NIO showrooms. The CEO explicitly said that the only thing that they'll be sharing are battery swap stations, Gen 3 and Gen 4, and service centers. They will have their own showrooms in order to differentiate between the two brands. So they don't want it in the NIO showrooms to not dilute the NIO branding. So this is, I think, a pretty good move, but there will be a curve before people fully know about this brand. So that's something to think about. So number 6, wait for ET9 screens. They didn't talk about it. They hinted at Sky UI, Sky OS, which is their own operating system, which is completely different from what's existing right now on NIOs. Very, very different. All right, they even have like different app tray on the bottom. Very beautiful. But yes, it is safe to say that some people will be waiting for the ET9 screens. There's always going to be people waiting for the newest stuff. But remember, buying a car isn't something that's exactly a waiting game. If you already have a car, then perhaps, yes, you can wait. But sometimes it's very urgent because, for example, here in Beijing, you roll for the license plate. The probability is very, very low. But then if you do get your license plate permission, you have a 6-month period to buy your car, or otherwise it's going to go sour and expire, and you're not going to be able to buy a car. So you have 6 months to buy a car, to buy EV sometimes. If it's a green license plate permission, then you have 6 months to buy EV. You're not going to be able to wait 2 or 3 years. You got no option. You just got to go right away. The same can be said for a lot of different other cities. They qualify for the EV purchase, then there's the urgency to buy it right away. Otherwise, the policy might change next year, right? In 2024, in Shanghai, it's 3 years of consecutive social insurance payments. Maybe next year they might change the rules again. Who knows? All right, so they meet the criteria. You have the funds and you need a car. People are just going to buy the car. They're not going to say like wait. The only situation where there's waiting is like people that already have cars, they're not in a rush to buy it, they just want the best spec and they're willing to wait. I think the sub brand will be a blockbuster success. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I can't wait for Deliveries to start for the sub brand by second half of 2024. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.